Good morning. Grab your coffee and lean in, because we need to talk about the ground shifting under your feet. You probably think the internet is a mirror of the human world, a place where you interact with people, read human thoughts, and see human creativity. But look closer. The mirror is cracking. Actually, it's being replaced by a projection. Here's the headline. 90% of what you're reading, watching, and clicking on right now wasn't created by a person.
It's synthetic. It's digital slop generated by algorithms designed for one thing: keeping your eyes glued to the screen, regardless of whether the information is true or even coherent.
Since late 2022, we've seen a 1,400% increase in AI-generated content flooding the web. Think about that. In less than 4 years, the open internet has gone from a human library to an automated factory. We used to call the dead internet theory a tinfoil hat conspiracy. Today, it's a measurable economic reality. Your social feeds, your product reviews, even the news articles popping up in your notifications are increasingly ghostwritten by bots. And that has a price tag, a big one. We're entering the era of the truth tax, and if you aren't paying it yet, you're likely the one being misled. But if the open web is drowning in this noise, where is the actual reliable intelligence hiding? Let's break this down. So, how did we get here so fast? It's a process researchers call model collapse, and honestly, this is the part I find wild. Imagine taking a crisp, clear photograph and making a photocopy of it. Then you take that photocopy and scan it to make another copy. By the 10th generation, the image is just a blur of gray shapes. That is exactly what's happening to our collective knowledge. Because AI is now so cheap and fast, it's producing more content than humans can keep up with. So, what do the new AI models train on? They train on the output of the old AI models. It's a recursive loop. AI eating AI. The result? Digital dementia. We're already seeing a 15% drop in accuracy among specialized AI models. They're starting to forget how humans actually talk, how facts actually connect, and how logic actually works. They're hallucinating at scale. When the data pool is poisoned with synthetic noise, objective reality starts to dissolve. It's information entropy. This is why your Google searches feel less useful lately, and why finding a straight answer feels like digging through a landfill. If the free web is becoming a hall of mirrors, who owns the few remaining shards of objective reality? Well, follow the money. Here's where the story takes a turn toward your wallet. The world's biggest tech players have realized that clean human data, information created by real people before the 2022 AI explosion, is now the most valuable resource on Earth. It's the new digital gold. Look at Reddit. They just inked a $60 million a year deal with Google just to let them train on human conversations. Look at the New York Times or News Corp.
They aren't just protecting their copyright, they're gatekeeping the last archives of verified human thought. They've become data landlords.
The truth tax isn't a single bill you'll find in the mail. It's the cumulative cost of being forced into high-cost, private networks just to escape the AI noise. The average cost for a suite of human-verified subscriptions is now hitting $1,200 a year. That's a 45% jump in 3 years. If you want a lawyer who isn't using a hallucinating chatbot, you pay a premium. If you want an investment report not written by a bot, you pay a premium. We're seeing a massive information asymmetry. The elite are paying for facts, while the middle class is being fed free, algorithmic hallucinations. Think about that next time you see a free AI summary of a complex financial situation. I know it sounds like sci-fi, but look at history. We've been here before. This is the digital dark age. Think back to the fall of the Library of Alexandria, when the central archives of the ancient world were lost or became inaccessible. Knowledge didn't just vanish, it retreated, it moved behind stone walls. For centuries, if you wanted the truth about medicine, history, or law, you had to go to a fortified monastery where monks painstakingly hand-copied manuscripts on rare papyrus. Knowledge became a luxury good protected by enclaves. We're seeing an 88% correlation between our current digital decay and the papyrus scarcity that fueled the original Dark Ages. Today's monasteries are private, encrypted databases, and $10,000 a month Bloomberg terminals. The public square? The open internet is becoming too chaotic and unreliable for high-stakes decisions. We're witnessing the return of an ancient social divide, those who can afford the fortified truth and those left to wander the digital wilderness. So, in a world where your eyes can no longer be trusted, how much will it cost you to keep your seat at the table of reality? Let's wrap this up with the bottom line. The total economic impact of this information decay is estimated at a staggering $5 trillion. We're talking about everything from $10,000 legal errors caused by AI-generated precedents to the $18 billion market for deepfake detection just to prove you are who you say you are. The cost of verification is skyrocketing. In 2024 alone, a corporate officer in Hong Kong was scammed out of $25 million by a deepfake CFO in a video call. That is the truth tax in action. The game has changed. You need to stop treating information as something that's naturally free. Like air. Start treating it like a high-value asset, just like gold or real estate. Audit your sources. Look for the human-only label. If you aren't paying for the product, you aren't just the product anymore, you're the one being fed the noise? In an era of infinite lies, the most expensive asset in your portfolio isn't Bitcoin or tech stocks. It's the truth. If the world's largest pension funds and billionaires are paying a premium to exit the public web, what does that tell you about where you should be looking for your data?